Hello. At the last video I said I basically said that this tournament, I was showing this game here where Magnus won against Vishanand, that the Grand Slam chess final was the last tournament, but when I search here at chessgames.com it says that there was one more tournament after that, the London Chess Classics. So I'm going to there is one more tournament here on 2012. So I've selected 4 games here from that tournament. I'm gonna start with this game here. It's a game between Carlsen and Aronian. So let's just I'll show you how I do it if someone else wants to do their own series. So it starts like this: Carlsen playing Aronian, like this game. Then I go here to view, and I go like this. I copy, and I go here, add a chapter, and I just paste it in. And then I have to write the names up there where it says names. And because I have done it, I've done like these games already, so I can do like that. So create chapter, then chapter 47 should be done here soon. If it takes a while, then you can do this update here, and it will update and gets created. So then we can see that this is played here 2012, 2nd of December. It's London Chess Classics round 2, and let's get the computer analysis here. So who won this London Chess Classics? So what happened here was that Magnus, he won the London Chess Classics. They are still using this scoring system here that was popular at this time, but nowadays it's not used anymore, because the reason why they wanted to get rid of this is they would like to get rid of Grandmaster draws, and a Grandmaster draw is basically a pre-arranged draw. A pre-arranged draw in chess is frowned upon, but it's common among chess grandmasters basically. And this system would make it less incentive to create pre-arranged grandmaster draws. But for some reason this is not so common anymore, and I also think that the new generation of players now, they have a much higher fighting spirit than the old generation. Players like Magnus would never accept a grandmaster draw, for example, and there is lots of the new players are very uncompromising, but some of the older generation, they were like for many of the old grandmasters it was basically chess is a job. I go there, I get some money for playing the tournament, and then I'm just going and off a draw after 10 moves, and then I'm going to go and play computer games or whatever they do in their spare time. But not nowadays. Now the players are very in a very high fighting spirit. The only thing that I've heard about the Chinese league is that they have a huge problem still with grandmaster draws among Chinese players for some reason. And so what they have done today is that you're not allowed to offer and accept draws, but that doesn't really help the problem of grandmaster draws, because there are like several opening lines. For example, there is a repetition in the Berlin defense that's like, it's well used to use if you want to pre-arrange a draw. So let's look at the game. No, enough talking, more gaming. So Magnus is playing Aronian. Aronian is one of my favorite players. He's always a very fun player to watch, and he always plays e5, and he plays always plays the Spanish opening as black. And here Magnus play 5d3, and the thing is here that if you're afraid, like main move is this, but then some players play the open variation, and this is very, very complicated and tactical. So if you don't want to do that, you can avoid it by playing 5d3. If you play this and they play something like this, then you can play 6d3. That's another line that's a little bit less complicated, because these Aronian plays like this, which is this is known as the Marshall Gambit. This is Aronian's main weapon. He's good in this opening as black. So instead, Magnus wants to avoid that. He could do that by playing 6d3 here and do another line. But the disadvantage to playing what Magnus did here, 5d3, is that black can play like this the Archangel, because in the Archangel as white, you want to play c3, d4 at once, so you don't want to play like this d3. So this is but at least Magnus doesn't have to face the Marshall Gambit, so he still gets a good game even if he's playing a passive variation against the Archangel. And Magnus does another thing here with the knight. Instead of maybe more normal, try to push here, or maybe go for a4 or a castle or something like that. He does that one, and this is something that's a maneuver like this is quite popular even in the 6d3 line. So he tries to play that other line against even if the bishop is here instead of here. So let's see how it goes. So he does like that, takes, and yeah, you threaten to take here maybe, so that's why he moves the rook. And usually you can't take this pawn, because there will always be some kind of a thing. For example, this one will win now. Both these are so it's often black doesn't have to defend that pawn because of tactics. So for example, now he doesn't defend it either. He moves the knight, which computer likes. I guess it's not such a comfortable way to defend. There is no so comfortable, because d6 doesn't work because of that. So there is no so comfortable way to defend. But apparently, like this one would be a way to defend here, and this also prepares d6 and bishop b6 or bishop d7 or bishop g4. So this queen e8 definitely an alternative here. But let's see what happens, because this looks like a pawn sacrifice for Aronian. But Aronian is he's playing the Marshall Gambit, and there you also sacrifice a pawn. So this kind of bishop can often get some kind of black can often get compensation with the bishop pair to even hold a draw, even if he's a pawn down in the Spanish opening. Okay, so the computer prefers to develop the queen a bit. Now actually, when it think a little bit more, it feels like b3 is also fine. b3, obviously he wants to protect the pawn with c4 like this, so that's also a logical way to play. So white has a stable extra pawn, and black doesn't have very much play, especially this bishop is not very free, but maybe he will do c6 and try to open, but even then he can take and go put a new pawn here. So it's not so easy for black to the computer say it's quite even, but looks to me this looks quite good for white. But yeah, the computer feels black is fine here. So let's see what happened. He obviously do that because he doesn't want to have to face the bishop h3 shenanigans. So it's interesting that the computer thinks that this position is even. I would think that white has like clearly better. Like he has the center and a pawn more. Like what more do you want? Knight g1 is actually liked by the computer. That looks strange. So I guess he wants to regroup somehow. Okay, so the computer doesn't like that he tries to trade here. Aronian tries to trade stuff here. But yeah, it's not so bad maybe. Yeah, actually it's completely even now. That's interesting. White has a pawn more, but it's completely even. I guess it's because black has both the open files here. Because I would think that it was quite hard for white to find a plan, but now when black started to trade, maybe it would be easier. But yeah, the computer thinks this is very equal. So okay, so Magnus does another regrouping with the knight. Like why can't he like take that pawn? Yeah, this looks good for black. Now he takes back the pawn and its position is completely even. But maybe the computer realized that black can maybe win back that pawn whenever he wants, so that's why the position is even. Because Magnus won here, something has to go very wrong for Aronian here. Yeah, this looks quite good for Aronian. He's threatening like a3 and rook here maybe. Let's see how Magnus can defend that. Yeah, why didn't he do that? I guess it's something like that. Yeah. And then this. I see. I see. White can do like this. When black does this and is threatening like a rook here maybe, then white does like this. And now he threatens to take here and also prevent this. And if this one he can't take because this loses a piece, of course. And now there is no threat of this, so that's why it's quite even here. And Aronian does something else. He also realizing that the pawn can become a target on a3 sometimes. Okay, so here is decisive mistake by Aronian. Didn't look so good. This kind of structure didn't look so good. Like this king is very passive. You want more active king in the endgame, and also it doesn't have any luft, so it could be checkmated. Also this now with h5 and maybe here, then this pawn is also in danger. So maybe some, I don't know. Let's see what the computer says. Computer says that he should do that. I thought like something like this and maybe next here to create some play would be nice. But yeah, of course you can go here now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this play doesn't give black so much. White has a safe setup here after he regrouped his knight. Okay, so let's see why this is bad. So this is good for white. Oh, interesting. I thought maybe here and here. Let's look at that first. Yeah, this king is awful here. Okay, but white can't do that because of this counterplay. Then black is apparently winning now. That's interesting. That's quite interesting actually. So instead of that, white plays to shut in the black bishop. Here, if white can do that, this bishop is kinda... it's shut out forever, so black cannot accept that, as I see it. So he does that himself to not allow that stuff. But now here and maybe g6 and it's also shot in. Let's see what happens. Yes, you can see white's already winning. This typical Magnus game, it looked so even, and the computer even preferred black for a little bit for a while, but from nothing he's creating a win. But of course Aronian has to be blamed. Like this moving the king here was you know, it was pretty bad, like to put the king where it can't get any luft, where it can't breathe, no air here. So let's see what happens. And g6 is the losing move. Okay, so what if he does that? How does white win? Rook e2. Maybe here. Take. Okay, and this pawn is winning now. Okay, but black could fight on, but this pawn is probably... black cannot stop it without sacrificing something, so it's a winning position for white. So let's see why this lost so quickly. Okay, so it's because of this, and as I said, he's threatening checkmate here. So only move is this, and then take here. And a nice move by Magnus, g6. So he played here. What if you take? Yeah, this knight is much better than the rook. Yeah, the still king can't get out still. So that's just nice. And white is winning. Nice game by Magnus here. Let's see how the game ended. Okay, so what will happen? Levon gave up. He should have continued here maybe. Let's see, but he sees that, of course. Has to take, check, has to take, and maybe yeah, he should play on here, but this is of course winning for Magnus. Okay, yeah, nice game by Magnus. So see you next game.